Hi there, this is Bob with Century Auto Air. Today we're going to discuss swapping clutches on Sanden compressors. This compressor here is a Sanden 508 and the customer has brought it to me with a 2-groove clutch and they are converting the vehicle to a serpentine system. So they've asked me to swap the clutch over to the serpentine pulley that they've provided. So we have a little job in the shop here this morning. I figured we'd video this. A couple things. This is a common thing to do because a lot of people will have a hot rod or specialty vehicle and they'll do a conversion to it and they want to use a serpentine setup. And this avoids having to buy another compressor completely. And it's actually a pretty simple procedure to do. A couple things about Sanden compressors. When it comes to their Universal Series units, there's two different styles of Sandens. This is a Sanden 508. It is a 5-cylinder, 8 cubic inch compressor. A couple ways to identify it if the label's gone, like this one is if you look on the back, the rear cylinder head will be held on with 5 bolts. Also, it will have a large 3/4 inch nut that holds the clutch on itself. You can, within the 5 series compressor, you can swap pieces. You can swap rear cylinder heads, you can swap clutches with no issues. The other common Sanden compressor is the 709. 7 cylinders, 9 cubic inches, identified by 6 bolts on the rear cylinder head, as well as it usually has like a 14 millimeter nut holding the clutch on. Pieces between these two compressors do not interchange. The compressors themselves have the exact same bolt patterns, bolt in each other's place, substitute well for each other, but you cannot combine pieces and parts. So now that we have the identification out of the way, we're going to go ahead and swap this other clutch out, and we'll just run it in real time, and then you'll be able to determine if this is something you want to do for yourself. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start by pulling the nut off the front of the clutch hub itself. It's 3/4 inches. The next part is there's 3 bolt holes drilled and tapped and threaded in these clutches to allow the puller to be screwed onto them. It uses this universal AC clutch puller, which is pretty much dedicated for Sanden compressors. And this will work on the 7 series compressors as well. There is a keyway on these compressors that locks the clutch or the hub to the crankshaft. And we just screw those down. This is critical because these are on pretty tight, and you will ruin this clutch plate if you don't use a puller to get it off. That one came off quite a bit easier than most. Okay. One thing about this compressor we're using today is this is not a genuine Sanden compressor. This is a Chinese copy. Very common when you find them polished in chrome for the hot rods. They're sold less expensively. So they can be a little funky to get apart sometimes. Like on a genuine Sanden, that clutch would have been quite a bit harder to get off. The next thing is to note our shim or shims. This is what gives you your air gap between that hub plate and the clutch. Keep track of these as they are kind of hard to come by and critical. The next step is we've got to get the pulley itself off. It's held on with a snap ring. We'll take our snap ring pliers, remove that ring, set it aside, and this pulley is a press fit pulley. So it requires this 2-jaw puller. I guess you could use a 3-jaw puller. This is just nothing specific to air conditioning itself. The main thing is we just want to catch that first groove, center it, and put a little tension on it. And these can be very stiff to get off. You can hear it popping as it comes off. That is very common and is not a problem. This one's actually coming off a little harder than a genuine Sanden would come off. Compressors look nearly identical. They're very hard to tell apart, the counterfeits from the real ones. The tolerances are not the same on them. But most pieces do interchange, even the seals we found. Feeling this one's not going to be easy to get back on either. If you're doing a Sanden 709 series compressor, expect the same procedure, just a little bit different sized hardware, but they do swap the same. I find a lot of customers do this swap as they change their vehicles over time, or they may have one compressor sitting on the shelf that they can utilize if they had a different clutch. So this is common procedure that we do. There's our pulley. Next is the coil itself. This is your magnet, and it is held on with a circlip inside there too. It is best to swap the magnet and all three pieces if you're going to do a swap, or if you're just removing it, then you don't have to worry about matching pieces. That's that. Usually a little wire retainer for the coil itself. Comes off. This is a good time to look inside here. This is your shaft seal. If this is all oily inside, this is actually replaceable, and you can see some of our other videos how to do that. But this would be the time, as these seals, that's kind of the only weak link on a Sanden type compressor are the seals. So we'll take our new coil. Some of these will have centering pins. This one does not. And let me go, I'm going to just compare our pieces before we start doing this. Make sure that we've been provided the proper part here. Okay, and we have. You rotate it and you'll feel there's a little nub on here that locks it into the front cylinder. And then we'll take our C-clip or circlip, put it back on. One thing of note is these clips will have a beveled edge. On air conditioning, the beveled edge will always face towards you. I'll go ahead and put that on there. And make sure that's locked in the groove. I usually take a screwdriver and just go around it, make sure it's in completely. Make sure everything is locked together tightly. Then we will take our pulley. And how you choose to put this on is up to you. You can put it in a press and press it in. You have to be very careful on some of these clutches because if you press in the wrong places, you'll actually warp the clutch and deform it. I find a rubber mallet is one of the best ways to do it, or a block of wood, and kind of shock it on. Your mileage may vary, however you're comfortable doing it. I've always done it with a rubber mallet and never had an issue. So we're gonna just go start by tapping it down. This one came off hard, so it's probably gonna wanna fight going back on. And we're gonna stop for a second and get a block of wood. so we can do this a little more evenly. Almost there. We have to expose that C-clip ring. It is going down. I will probably edit this section out because this is pretty hacky looking and it's probably really loud on video. Going down. This is quite a bit harder than most of them go on. Once again, this is not the genuine article. Almost there. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit off still. What we're trying to do is get this far down enough that there's a lip that C-clip catches. Once again, we take our C-clip, make sure that the bevel on the one side faces us. There. So again, I take a screwdriver and just make sure that that clip is fully seated and it's not going to come flying out. Want to keep our clutch face clean. Make sure it's oil free, especially if you're using an old compressor that you've had around for a while. Then take our shim. Sometimes there'll be two shims in there. This is what's going to establish our air gap between this plate and that. So you really want to keep track of these. Most of the time when doing a swap, come out just fine without having to get different sizes. There's also a keyway on this shaft. 709 runs a keyway. Some very late model Sanden compressors will have a splined shaft that the hub just slides off of. Okay, so we're going to take our new hub, make sure our keyway lines up, and it will go engage on that shaft. I try to wiggle it down as much as possible. Make sure it's straight. You can take a socket, cover the shaft to protect it, a rubber mallet, and we'll take our nut. That down. And we check our air gap. So this gap between this hub and pulley, anywhere from 20 to 30 thousandths gap is probably best on it. Maybe we can set it up, spin it, make sure there's no rubbing. If this gap is too tight, you'll hear it rub, which will lead to burning the clutch. You'll too much heat. Or if the gap is too wide, the springs are always at their max travel here trying to pull that down when it's engaged. And over time, that'll start slipping or it won't engage at all. And we're back. That was the telephone ringing there. I'm a one-man show. So, last little piece. We'll put our wire retainer back on. It is critical because your belt can catch this wire. Tear it off. And as I was saying, a common problem with Sanden compressors as these clutches wear. If you ever get a situation where engagement becomes kind of intermittent or run for a while, then won't re-engage even though there's power on this wire here, this gap, as this pulley wears, opens up. And after a while, the front plate can no longer overcome that and engage. but really these compressors are so bulletproof. It's just, you'll find a leaking front seal from time to time and a worn clutch. So it's on, it spins free, and our once V-drive or V-belt drive compressor is now a serpentine drive compressor. And I hope this has been helpful for you. Remember, 508 compressors interchange with 508s, 709s with 709s. The parts are separate. You have to keep them, keep that in mind when you do these conversions, and make sure you do get the right parts for the right series. I'm Bob with Century Auto Air. Thank you.